So I am pretty excited about this week. I got to talk about games I have not had the opportunity to talk about in a while. New games, old games, games that I think you guys are definitely going to be interested in. Now, granted, we have had a very packed few weeks, so I may have overlooked like a couple different things, but hopefully this is all of the important stuff. Thus, let's take a few minutes, probably 11 minutes, maybe closer to 12 minutes here, and jump into this week's Weekly Byte of MMORPG news. Let's start this off with Blade & Soul. In the most recent producer's letter, it was revealed that the Unreal Engine 4 overhaul would be making its way to the West this year. Not only that, but there is a ton of content planned for each month, beginning this month with a Hongmoon level cap increase, new heroic dungeon, continuation to the Rise of Silversteel story, new gear, the new Silversteel raid, a new class specialization, and more. Seriously, the next 4 months are going to be really exciting for the game. If you want to know more about each month's list of updates, I actually did a dedicated Blade & Soul video last week. I urge you to go ahead and take a look at that. It is always fun when I get to talk about both Blade & Soul and TERA in the same news segment. I remember when they would have news literally almost weekly. Nowadays, it seems like it's, rare to have news released monthly, but here we are defying the norm. Fans of the game will be happy to learn that you'll be receiving 2 new dungeons as part of the Kaia's Anvil update going live this month. Additionally, you'll have a new rarity level for gear and an increase in how frequently you can enter dungeons. The dungeons in question are aimed at players level 69 and above. And if you happen to, perchance giggle a little bit at the latter half of that sentence, then, like me, you have the mentality of a 3rd grader. It has been half a year, I think, since I last talked about Zenith. The game had a Kickstarter that went on to raise almost $300,000, and after a few updates, fell relatively silent. Until now, as of the beginning of March, it was revealed that the game was actually making progress towards hitting their goal of entering pre-alpha testing. At this point, I believe we were supposed to be in closed alpha, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. We're getting an alpha test of the game, and we'll hopefully have a closed beta approaching the end of 2020. For those of you that back the game, you'll hopefully be capable of jumping in-game soon. Take the train to Busan, they said. It'll be fine, they said. Yeah, famous last words. Now, I don't even recall the last time I did a video on closers, but here we are yet again talking about their brand new update, taking us right to Busan. And yeah, there really isn't much known about the update thus far other than the actual location and speculation that the update will feature aliens as opposed to zombies, which, honestly is pretty cool. Now, if Temtem isn't your thing, don't worry about it. It isn't the only online multiplayer monster collecting RPG in the works. Nope. Kindred Fates is another one that managed to raise almost $700,000 in funding. And while the trailer showcases some bare bones gameplay, the theme, the graphical style, and the features provide us with a much more mature Pokemon-esque game where you take full control of the creatures referred to as kinfolk during battle in an action combat mode. Your kinfolk can actually die, meaning that their lives are actually finite, an interesting mechanic not found in games of this kind. Now, there isn't a release date scheduled currently. All we know is that the game has an ETA of 2023 as of March 2020, but man, does this look exciting. I have a dedicated video on Kindred Fates. If you're looking for more info on the game, I recommend checking that one out. Now, speaking of Temtem, it turns out that they just released the roadmap for both 2020 and 2021. Additions in spring 2020 include ranked matchmaking, spectator mode, in-game chat, chat bubbles, and club management. Summer 2020 will feature a brand new island, Kisua, added, 25 new Temtem, player housing, climbing gear, and a new set of emotes. Fall 2020 will feature a new island, Chipanku, I don't know. Another 25 new Temtem, the first mythical Temtem, in-game tournaments, a quest diary, and achievements. Winter 2020 2020 will include another new island, Arbery, 30 new Temtem, the second mythical Temtem, Club Dojo Wars, and a trading house. Spring 2021 will have the game launch onto consoles, the official 1.0 launch of the game, the endgame island, daily and weekly quests, a battle replay system, and a cosmetic store. Then finally, summer 2021 will introduce a brand new Nuzlocke game mode, the third mythical Temtem, an arcade bar, draft PvP, and a cosmetics battle pass. Seriously though, for a freshly released game, Temtem is absolutely killing it. It has been a couple months since I included Lost Ark in a news video, and while I do have a dedicated Lost Ark video coming out on Monday, I do want to talk just a little bit about it here. Smilegate have introduced a brand new Battle Royale mode into the game, a new affection system, your very own island finally, new difficulties to raids, remove gender locking, and have several classes planned. Yeah, they pretty much have the entire year planned out with content slowly releasing over the course of it. Now, if you want more info and to have, I guess, more elaboration on various features and details, you guys are gonna have to wait until Monday. Trust me, there is no way, absolutely no way I could go over all of this information without it taking up like 6, maybe 7 minutes of your time. But of course, that is what a dedicated video is for, so yeah. Yeah, despite Nexon being a bit of an MMO graveyard these days, they actually released a brand new update last month called Call of the Wild. The update added a brand new raid dungeon called Yadomon's Altar with a chance of obtaining not only a brand new dragon mount that actually looks pretty damn sick, no joke, but also the option of obtaining a brand new pet as well. I know that there are still players that play Riders of Icarus. It was one of Mrs. Styx's favorite MMOs of all time, and honestly, even though the game is, I don't know, kinda slow and a little bit clunky at times, it isn't half bad. Development has been so arduously slow on Ashes of Creation, I'd almost forgotten it existed. I mean, I would like to say that, but I'm constantly reminded by the fact that Ashes of Creation Apocalypse exists in its place. So when it was revealed that they will finally not only be showcasing actual gameplay from the MMO in the near future, but also hopefully going into the first stage of alpha testing, I'll admit I was a little surprised. I was under the impression that the game would be stuck in development hell, but hey, here we are. Almost anyway. Hopefully in the coming months we'll have a dedicated video for Ashes of Creation actually talking about progress and seeing where the game actually ends up going. That's kind of exciting actually. If there are many fans even left interested in the game, which after the Apocalypse debacle, really might not be many. In exciting news, Nexon revealed during their fourth quarter 2019 financial report that among other titles, Project BBQ would finally be releasing this year in South Korea. I know a South Korean release doesn't really mean anything with regards to a North American or a European release, but a lot of people were of the impression that Project BBQ was dead. This is evidence to the contrary. However, it is worth noting that the game is still likely quite a ways, potentially years off releasing anywhere outside of South Korea. And even then, we have seen little to no information other than this small little confirmation regarding the game, which is not a good sign. However, like several of the other games thus far, I've actually done a much more in-depth, detailed video on this that I recommend watching if you're interested in learning more. I know you guys are typically against mobile titles, but Dragon Raja isn't your ordinary looking mobile game. I did a dedicated video on it a week ago, and my god, it is one of the best looking mobile games I have ever seen. The reason I'm talking about it today though is due to the fact that it just recently launched, I think like a little over a week ago by this point, and it is being played by a surplus of players. I'd recommend using an emulator as the game looks fantastic in HD if you can get your settings right. If only PC games took the time to look this good. Fresh off of the success of opting to release the game completely free for an entire week, a patch went live for Black Desert that allows crossplay between both the PS4 and the Xbox One. While that isn't really full crossplay, neglecting to include PC players, it is a solid first step in increasing player ability to play with one another. They also went on to detail additional information regarding their upcoming Odalita region and associated content, which has been delayed for quite a while. Now, I know you guys are excited for anything Blue Protocol related, we all are, so this may come as bad news for a few of you. Bandai Namco announced that while the closed beta was scheduled to release this month, it has been delayed until mid-April. Granted, you know, that's only a few week delay, so I don't really personally see much issue with it, especially considering they mentioned that the game was created with a global release in mind. Yeah, they pretty much confirmed that while their focus right now is on their Japanese release, and this closed beta is pretty much for feedback purposes pertaining to the Japanese release, they do in fact plan on releasing it to additional countries outside and after the Japanese release. I do have dedicated videos on quite a few of the topics I talked about this week actually, so you know, if you're interested in watching any of those or finding out more about any of these topics, links will be included both in the description and I guess maybe if I remember in the pinned comment as well. So go ahead and click those to find out more. But that is it. That is all the news that has been brought to my attention over the last 2 weeks. If you know of anything I happen to miss, you can go ahead and hit me up on Instagram or on Twitter or even on Discord with the link so I can talk about it. Anyway, guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it.